Good morning, fellow humans, good people, etc. Today is Thursday, September 12th, 2024. Here we are in wonderful Pahrump or Pahrumpertucky. You choose. It's about 6 o'clock. My name is Edward Bevilacqua. This is the Department of Career Services, where our goal is to help you on your journey through this transcendent life. Right. So we're going to try to keep it down to 10 minutes. So my disclaimer, disclosure, description, and any other D word you want to apply to this is going to be very short, because I want to get into our theme, which is people like us do things like this, a Seth Godin quote. Again, mainly, let me basically just say this is for people for our students and interested people who do not believe they are saved and are not successful. Because if you already believe you're saved, kind of a dangerous belief. If you believe you're saved, you don't need this. You don't really need anything, because you've got the destination already locked in. The journey can end now for you, and why wouldn't it? But anyway, and if you're successful, you don't need to learn things to become successful, because you already are. However, there is value in it because of the experts in the worksheet down below. I guess one reason successful people could watch this, is to learn to build better habits. Not learn, because they already have better habits, but just as a reinforcer for building better habits. Because at the end of the day, that's the key thing, building better habits. And I would say, if you get in the habit of building better habits, it's just an automatic thing that no matter what you do, you're going to do it through repetition. And every time you repeat it, you're going to try to do it just a little bit better. So I even do that when I'm walking down the sidewalk, that I automatically avoid stepping on cracks. Yeah, and you know the reason for that, right? Our theme of today, once again, is people like us do things like this, from Seth Godin. So let me say, first of all, good morning. What a bevy. How are things in Fort Jacks today? Is it still raining? What is it like? What's it going to be like at 9 o'clock in the morning? Because you're, I can feel a breeze. What's going to be like at 9 o'clock in the morning for us? Not yet, but it's expected to, and it is beautiful. Okay, cool, great. Let's go to our worksheet, link down below for people. We'll just start at the top. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, not the critic, ... The link to that famous Teddy Roosevelt speech is down below. True meaning is through voluntary self-sacrifice. Contend with the structures of reality. I think that was a Jordan Peterson thing. Wake up. Oh, that was I'll put a check mark on that, because I already did that. That was for my birthday. Wake up. Birthday, reflect, respect, inspect, reject, accept, perfect. Okay, so our podcast is actually a 5-part podcast. No, it's not a 5-part. It's 5 parts. There's 4 parts that are not on the podcast, and then there's the podcast. So there's preparation. We have that breathing exercise from Andrew Huberman, which is the double intake. Breathe, exhale first, push in your stomach, inhale through your nose as much as you can, and then a second one before you, just to really top it off and expand the lungs. And then a slow exhale. And you do that twice, that fully opens the lungs. Next, have an attitude of gratitude. Say, I'm so happy and grateful now that. Close your eyes and let the thoughts roll through. Just observe the things that you're happy and grateful for. Always look on the bright side. Right. Always look on the bright side. We have a link to that song, Monty Python, Life of Brian. Next, review yesterday. Do your examination of yesterday. There's 4 questions to ask. Those are down in the worksheet below. And then next, project today, what you're going to do. 1 minute to project the path of your day. Say your own personal prayer. And from Caddyshack, we have a link to that where it's see the ball. See the ball, Danny. See the ball. Okay, our 3-part podcast, daily theme. Today's theme is what? People like us do things like this. When you get in a pickle, say your name. Wait for it. Just calm down. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. It's like that fly that was in here this morning. I had to wait for it. Wait for it. Whammo. Oops, missed. No. You can also say you got yourself into this mess. Let me help you get out of it. That's kind of an interesting neuroscience thing. So one part of your brain is saying to another part, you got yourself into this into this mess. Let me help get you out. And guess what? It works. It works because our brain doesn't know. Our brain doesn't know. What if you stepped out of your comfort zone? So that's another question. What if you stepped out of your comfort zone? What would happen? Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Planning. So planning, it's simple. Say your incantation, not affirmation. Say your incantation. Incantation. I think Matticus von Atticus would know. Okay. Diana Crowley is there. Good morning. Good morning. Mr. Bojangles is on there. Good morning. Box breathing. That's another one. Yep. That's another one. Box breathing. This was a Huberman one. To fully expand your lungs early in the morning. Double intake. Let's see if the third member of the third triumvirate, Matticus von Atticus, Untersergeant Ordinaire, will join us. But let's see, where were we? We was at, the incantation. So this is not an affirmation. This is an incantation, kind of like a spell. So something great. So you're making it a bam. Something great is going to happen to me, bam, today, wham. And if you believe that, guess what? It'll happen. Why? Because you programmed your RAS, not because you called out to the universe the law of attraction, because you programmed your RAS so that anything possibly great is going to come up. You're already seeking that. On the other hand, if you say, life sucks, man. Let's see, Jordan Peterson had a video yesterday where he said, here's how it works. I think I shared it with Watabetty. Here's how it works. Our reality for each person is shaped by their goals. So when you have a goal, your reality pulls you towards that goal. And then there are other things that are obstacles to that goal. Everything else becomes irrelevant. So you must have a goal. All right. So box breathing, wham, 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 wham. Boom. Something great is going to happen to me today. RAS, visualization, manifestation. Right. So those are fancy, highfalutin ways of saying program the RAS, that little part in our brain, the top of the brainstem, about the size of our little finger, a bunch of neurons, that constantly scan all information available to us to support our beliefs. That's it. So if you believe people are out to get you, anything that is said that you can hear, see, smell, taste, touch, feel, anything that supports that belief is going to come to your awareness. Anything that doesn't, you aren't going to recognize. It's going to be filtered out. Okay, next. What is next? Because time is racing. Have your 3 simple goals for today. Red letter stuff. Yuval Harari. People like us do things like this. Yuval Harari talks about why do humans control the planet? Humans control the planet because what? Because we can work flexibly in large numbers. We're the only animals that can work flexibly in large numbers. And how are we able to do that? Well, we are the only animals that can invent stories. And if we believe the stories, then we can cooperate flexibly in large numbers if we believe the story. What enables us to create stories? Because we're the only animals that can create stories, fictional stories. Well, it's because we can see the world as like all animals, objective reality. A river is a river, a mountain is a mountain, a lion is a lion. And we can also see it subjectively. So rivers and mountains and lions can be beautiful or scary or something else that in the objective world they're not. And then you could say, well, how are we able to do that? And Susanna Herculano would say, because we have more neurons. And you could say, well, why do we have more neurons? And the answer is because we cook our food. And what does cooking our food enable us to do? It gives us more time to solve problems. That's it. More time to solve problems. And when we spend more time solving problems, we use our brain more. And the more we use our brain, the more synaptic connections we need. And the more synaptic connections we need a bigger brain. And the bigger brain, we need a bigger skull. Poof. Mic drop. Boom. Everything explained in 32 seconds. Okay, so why do we care about that? Well, if we know that it's about stories, then we can get good at telling stories that other people will believe. And who are the best storytellers out there? Pastors and lawyers. Is there anybody I know who's a pastor and a lawyer? Not yet. Okay, so we are the worst animal on this rock. No, we're not the worst animal. We might do some of the worst things, but we also do things that no other animal can do. Just go to the Louvre, go to the British Museum, and see the wonderful things that humans have been able to do. We don't live in our own filth and excrement. Well, a lot of people do, actually. We're trying to help solve that problem. So, time is racing, time is racing. Time, such a runic rhyme. Okay, looks like Naticus von Atticus is not going to join us. Let's see, I got some photos last night. Speaking of people like us do things like this. Got some photos, some pics, not photos, some pics yesterday from a former student, Sylvia Lopez, who works doing floral designs in Las Vegas and for some companies that are big companies doing it and does some big, huge things, not like little tiny floral designs, but big stuff. People like us do things like this, right? We stretch our imagination. Here's an interesting thing. It seems that Protestants don't believe that people have an imagination, that it's the Holy Spirit. Or maybe whenever you have an imagination, but if it comes to anything religious, boom, it's the Holy Spirit. It's not your imagination. Catholics, on the other hand, believe that the Holy Spirit impacts your imagination, that we always have an imagination. It's not the Holy Spirit tells us what to do. Though it can, but I guess my point is Catholics would ask the Holy Spirit to help them figure it out or to help them find a way through, versus I am just a thing to be directed. I'm just a soulless, I'm an automaton. And Holy Spirit, without you, I'm nothing. I am not worthy, right? Okay, so time is racing. Let's look at Seth Godin, and we're going to take off for the day. Getting AI to do your work. That's this first step, certainly. If you don't, your boss will. Get AI to do your work, okay? Getting AI to do your work. If you don't get the AI to do your work, your boss will. The second step is to take the time you freed up to do work the AI can't do. Right, that's kind of a theme that's becoming more and more popular. Do things AI can't do. Get AI to do the things you can do, but do things that AI cannot do. Like what, man? Mow the lawn, do the dishes. No, not stuff like that. I don't know. Nobody ever says that. Well, maybe they do, but I don't know. Do things AI can't do. And that universe of things AI cannot do is getting smaller and smaller. Okay, let's see. Procession of the Holy Spirit rather than demons. Right. Whatabebby, there are robotic massage machines? What? Oh, yeah, I've seen those on the internet. Pornography things. Is that what you mean? What? Well, I didn't actually see them. It's just the Holy Spirit told me about it, because I don't have an imagination. I'm just an automaton. The Holy Spirit told me there were. Okay. Next. All right, let's call it a day. It's 18 minutes in. And thank you, people. OMG. Bo, I'll be there about 8. We need to have at least one of those styrofoam containers ready for us to go to where. Everyone else, let's make something happen. And our belief that today something great is going to happen to me today. Something great is going to happen to me today. There's a lot of people here in Oregon that watch your podcast. Cool. Great. You should join in the chatter. The chatty chatter. Okay. So everyone go make something happen. Remember, this is a journey. This is not a destination. We were not born. It's not just this is all there is. It's not just we're born, stuff happens, and we die. No. It appears we have a transcendent soul, that there is something after death. It makes sense that how we act now has an impact on what happens later. If you think about what is the destination I'm looking for, suffering becomes really not so big of a deal. You can handle the suffering if you know that there is everlasting life. So the example I give is, if I can punch you in the arm, or I don't break anything, it's going to be fine in 2 weeks. I say, I'll give you $5,000 if you let me punch you in the arm as hard as I can without breaking anything or any permanent damage. People would say, yeah, right? Yeah, $5,000 just for a sore arm for 2 weeks. Man, that 2 weeks is going to be gone really quick. And that 5,000, I can go buy a car with that, which is I'm going to enjoy every day for years, right? That would be life with suffering. I have 100 years of suffering, but if I suffer well, my destination is to be one with the Father and Jesus and have everlasting life. Boom. Okay. Pay me. That was a thought experiment. Okay. Shivas and shalom, people.